Hey everyone, Sarumaru here, and today we're going to be talking about the King of Fighters 94 for the Nintendo Switch here on Retro Japan. A couple days ago, Hamster put up another game in their Arcade Archive series to the Nintendo eShop in Japan, the King of Fighters 94 by SNK. For those of you not familiar with the KOF series, it's a crossover fighting game featuring characters from many of SNK's flagship games, with many original characters thrown into the mix. Characters from Fatal Fury and Art of Fighting from early 90s Neo Geo fighting games to some classic characters from games like Ikari Warriors and the lesser-known Psycho Soldier, as well as original characters like Kyoku Tsunagi of Team Japan. One of the things that made this game so interesting at the time was its team-based 3-on-3 battle system, which was a game mechanic that was innovative and different from the standard one-on-one fighting games that we saw pretty much the norm at the time. Basically, the way this system worked was if one of your team's characters lost in a match, the next character would take his or her place. This would play out until your opponent had no more characters left. The order in which character comes out into battle is chosen before each round, which could also help if strategizing which character types to choose when going up against certain characters. If I had to pick a favorite version of this game, I'd have to say it was KOF 94 for the Neo Geo CD, and I'm probably in the minority there, but I couldn't afford a Neo Geo AS back then, and I can't afford one now. Plus, I'm a whore for optical media, so there's that. The disc-based versions of KOF always had such awesome arranged soundtracks. So what can I say about KOF 94 on the Switch? Well, it does a good job at bringing the arcade feel home. And the Arcade Archive series, you're given several visual options and the ability to save states and stuff. But I never use that stuff, and I prefer the raw pixel look for the visuals anyhow. What I do like about this version is that it's $8. Although it isn't perfect, I did notice some very minor sound clipping here and there, but overall the sound emulation is pretty good. There's also some sound options like reverb, bass, and some other stuff. You also get that nice voice doubling when two characters do a move at the same time, something that I've always liked about the Neo Geo. Something that's not present in other ports of later KOF games like the Saturn and the PS1, for example. One thing that does need to be said about playing this game on the Switch is that it's nearly impossible to play this thing with Joy-Cons. So if you're looking to get all fancy with moves and need a bit more precision, you're going to need to pony up about $70 to get that Pro Controller. It does improve the gameplay quite a bit, but not as much as I had hoped. And if you're thinking about getting the Pro Controller for fighting games, you might just want to wait for Hori's much cheaper offering, the wired Hori Pad, for a mere 30-something bucks. Or better yet, the Real Arcade Pro line of fight sticks for that arcade control that you can only get with a fight stick. I played KOF 94 for the Switch from start to finish and found that my thumbs were pretty sore. But most people probably bought the Pro Controller for things like Zeldas or for your amiibos, because it's got NFC and all that. I did find that playing Blaster Master Zero was much easier to play with the Pro Controller, so I'd like to think that it's a lot more than just a $70 torture device. So if you're looking to get some KOF 94 action on your modern consoles, if you have a PS3, PS4, or a Vita, then you're probably better off getting it for one of those simply because the PlayStation controller feels much more natural to play with than Nintendo's current offerings. But if you're looking to just add some more games to your Switch digital library, KOF 94 is one you should definitely check out if you want to play the first game in a series that started a fighting game phenomenon. If you're looking for tighter gameplay and want to get some KOF action in now, you can pick up KOF 98 on the eShop. KOF 94 hasn't been released in the North American eShop as of yet, but I imagine it shouldn't be too long before we see it. So what are your thoughts on the King of Fighters series? Did you play this growing up? Do any of you have this on the Neo Geo AS or the Neo Geo CD? Let's talk about it in the comments or visit Retro Japan on Facebook from the link in the description. And that concludes this KOF 94 review for the Nintendo Switch here on Retro Japan. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, please remember to like and subscribe. Shoutouts go to Ruben Vaquer, Jorge Guia, Daniel Scheibuck, The Crazy Cubano, and Bobby Sandoval for supporting me on Patreon, which you could all check out in the link in the description. And I'll see you all next time.